Tim Tebow, the guy can play football. The guy can play quarterback. He's done it for a lot of years. And just because he's not the prototypical, statuesque quarterback, and he's not even a quarterback that's necessarily has as good an arm as an RG3 or Cam Newton. I'm not going to sit here and say that either. But the guy is one of these guys that knows how to win football games. He does it on every level. He finds ways to win. Conventional or unconventional, he finds ways to win. He keeps drives alive.
Where's the respect for the defense, though?
Every team the guy plays on, you're just going to say, oh, it's because of his great defense?
No, but all I'm trying to say is the simple fact of the matter is, look at the games that they won.
Florida didn't have a great defense when he won national championships.
Yeah, but college is different with a running quarterback. It's the athletes on defense in college do not even come close to comparing with what you see in the NFL.
The athletes in the SEC playing Alabama, LSU, all these great defenses, top 5 defenses in the country week after week. He hasn't done it against great competition in the past. He didn't beat a Steelers defense in the playoffs last year.
He made one pass. I do not understand how you are so blinded by Tim Tebow, dude.
He finds ways to win. Look at how the guy
plays the football game.
It doesn't matter how he wins. It doesn't matter how he gets it done. The bottom line is the guy gets it done. I don't know why people can't see that.
You're saying he gets it done. You're saying he gets it done. Look at the scores of the games that he won.
It doesn't matter.
How many points has his defense given up? How many quarterbacks can go out there and win football games when their defense is only giving up 13 points?
So Denver only averaged giving up 13 points a week last week?
I'm saying based on what you're saying that Tim Tebow carried this Denver Bronco team to the playoffs. As a emotional leader, I'll give you that.
With any other quarterback, they don't win that game. With any other quarterback, they don't make the playoffs last year. It was him, his will,
so Peyton Manning on that team last year, they're not making the playoffs? That team got that much better outside of Peyton Manning?
Is a moot point because he wasn't around last year, and if he was, he would have been playing for Indy and not the Broncos.
Your exact words was you can put any other quarterback on that team and they don't win that game. That was your exact words.
Oh, well, I'm saying any other quarterback as far as any other free agents out there. Not necessarily.
All right, so now you're comparing Tim Tebow to Donovan McNabb that's old, Rex Grossman. You can't compare him to
took the Bears to the Super Bowl.
You're talking about... No, he didn't. The Bears defense. We just talked about this the other day. Yesterday with our top 10 list.
Went to the Super Bowl.
Did we not just talk? So did Trent Dilfer, and he won it. You're going to say Trent Dilfer's a good quarterback?
No, but he manages games.
Okay, that's
it. So if Tim Tebow can manage games and use his leadership to help his team, motivate his team to win, that's all you need. You need to win. It's about the W.
It's
not about the stats. It's about the W.
Tim Tebow should thank Marion Barber. Thank you. That is a great point. That defense
Tim Tebow thanks God. That's who Tim Tebow thanks.
Oh,
and that's all he has to thank.
Wow. Shout out to the 18 in the chat room, man. Look, personally, Tim Tebow is a great football player. He is a guy that has the ability to talk and motivate people like I don't think anybody's ever seen before. But when it comes down to being a quarterback in the NFL, he is strictly meant for scheme.
Why?
Because he can't throw the ball consistently. He has no consistent accuracy.
He can work on that.
He has no consistent touch. So by working on it, what's he going to do? Are you going to give him a 6-year contract so you can work on him for 4 years before he's ready?
I would give him a 6-year contract at say $6 million, a year. Something comparable to, not necessarily do I think he deserves Peyton Manning money? No. Do I think he deserves Tom Brady's money? Or Drew Brees? Or Aaron Rodgers? Or top 10 money? No. But do I think he deserves money that's comparable to, say, what Matt Flynn got in the offseason? Absolutely. If they're going to sign Matt Flynn for 3 years at $6 million apiece, you can find $6 million to sign Tebow for 3 years. You're going to tell me that Tim Tebow isn't a better option than Matt Flynn?
Look, when they signed Matt Flynn, I'd like to believe that they thought he was going to be their starter. That's what I'd like to believe. I'm not paying. I would not go out and give $6 million to anybody to be my backup. I just wouldn't do it. Your money's got to be invested in better places, especially with quarterbacks out there making $20 million a year.
Are you telling me that if the Jets in 4 weeks from now are 2-4, that they shouldn't even think about putting Tebow in as a starter?
No. You brought Tim Tebow in to have a set package for him. You brought Tim Tebow. You spent all of training camp. You spent all this time. You spent all the scrutiny of preseason because everybody's like, "Where's Tim Tebow?"
I can't even listen to it. Do you hear yourself?
Yes, I know exactly what I'm trying to say.
A guy who wins, a guy who's done it before, who may have accuracy issues at times, but finds ways to win games. If you're losing and Sanchez is sucking, why wouldn't you take a chance to start Tebow? I don't understand why you wouldn't even take a chance.
You didn't say it that way. You said if the Jets are 2-4.
Yeah,
if the Jets are 2-4 because of Mark Sanchez, then you don't have a choice. But from what I saw of that defense on Sunday, they're not 2-4 just because of Mark Sanchez. They don't have any real playmakers outside of Revis on that entire defense.
Because Stephen Hill looked good in week 1. Santonio Holmes caught a touchdown pass.
Who got the ball to Stephen Hill?
Santonio Holmes caught a touchdown pass.
Who got the ball to Santonio Holmes? Mark Sanchez. So you can't just throw the guy under the bus and say, "Oh, it's his fault."
But you're telling me he has no playmakers. He has playmakers.
No, that defense has no playmakers. That's what I said. That defense
I didn't hear you say defense.
No playmakers.
I missed the word defense in there.
I love Bart Scott. I do. His best days are behind him.
Cromartie's not a playmaker. Revis isn't a playmaker. Bart Scott, even though he's a little older, is still a playmaker. They got guys who can play. It's not like they don't have anybody.
They have guys that can play. They're not. Look, Antonio Cromartie is
arguably the best corner in the league.
He is the best corner in the league. Who else are you going to really take over him?
Cromartie is another top 10 corner in the league. If you've got 2 of the top 10 corners in the league, you're set up to be all right on defense. They got some hard-hitting safeties. They got a solid linebacker with a good head on his shoulders and Bart Scott to lead the defense. They have people there. The defense isn't the problem for the Jets. The Jets' problem is their offense. And an offense that's been in question ever since the Sanchez got there.
Yeah, see, look, man, I'm looking at Tebow's stats, and I just can't agree with you, dude. Look, last year, he played 14 games, right? 46.5% completion percentage. Only 1,700 yards, only 12 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he recorded 7 fumbles as a quarterback. 7 fumbles as a quarterback. Rushing stats, 122 attempts, 660 yards, 5.4 average. That's really good. Here's your issue. 6 touchdowns, another 6 fumbles at running back. So between quarterback and running back, he fumbled the ball 13 times. He threw 6 interceptions. That is 19 turnovers by one guy in 14 games.
Listen, NFL season 16 games. I've seen Eli throw 25 interceptions in 16 games.
And yes,
which
you
is
did.
way more turnovers than the 19 you're talking about right there in 14 games.
And they didn't make the playoffs that year. They made the playoffs based on more than just Tim Tebow. That's all I'm trying to get across.
That team doesn't make the playoffs without Tim Tebow last year, and I don't think the Jets make the playoffs with the Sanchez at quarterback right now. I don't see it happening.
I don't think the Jets are making the playoffs whether whoever the hell their quarterback is. If that's what we're going to just strictly go at, I don't think Tebow leads them to
Wait till you get a good look at what Tebow can do as a starter.
What do you mean? I watched all last year, dude. It was Tebow mania. He was the biggest type thing in the NFL.
We didn't get a lot of Denver games.
I have DirecTV. I watch Tim Tebow almost every Sunday. He was fun to watch because you never knew, and all you had to do was you waited
in the game.
You waited, yes, but not because of just him.
No,
You're
listen,
making it
it's
sound
never
like
just one
you
person.
haven't given credit to Decker. You haven't given credit to Demarius Thomas.
Who had to
you
get him
haven't
the ball?
given
Who had to
credit
get him the
to the
ball?
offensive line. You haven't given credit to Willis McGahee. You haven't given credit to anybody. Tim Tebow is not the only reason that team made the playoffs. His voice, his words, huge impact.
Kyle Orton, same team Tebow had. 1-4.
Okay.
Same team.
Okay.
Tebow comes in. They win the division and the first round playoff game.
They go 7-4 with him at quarterback.
7-4
Awesome.
and win the division and win a playoff game.
Okay, and the playoff. Oh my God! Will you stop with him winning a playoff game?
I'll stop when he stops
threw
winning.
a pass that me and you both could go throw. I'm sorry. He threw something that the average Joe that knows how to throw a football could have thrown. A 5-yard crossing route. That was all that play was. Demarius Thomas stiff arms Ike Taylor and outruns everybody else. Tim Tebow does not deserve credit for that play.
He does. Absolutely.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one, man.
We're gonna have to.
I'm sorry.
We'll see as the
way.
Jets season unfolds what's going to happen and what's going to go on.
Fife even throws in the chat room. He even threw it behind Thomas. Thomas had to reach like this. Perfect quarterback puts it here. He doesn't even have to stiff arm. He's able to keep running full speed.
How many perfect quarterbacks are there in the league?
None at this point. None. I'm sorry. Tom Brady loses to Arizona. Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked that good. Drew Brees' team's 0-2. So in my opinion right now, you got none.
Exactly. So you can't get on him for not being perfect if nobody else in the league's perfect.
But he is, like, out of 32 quarterbacks, in my opinion, as a quarterback, he's like 28. I would take so many quarterbacks over him.
You taking Blaine Gabbert over Tebow?
I was just going to say, he's one of the guys I wouldn't take over Tebow.
Okay, you're going to take Jake Locker?
Yes.
You're going to take Jake Locker over Tebow? You're out of your mind.
He's a better he's just as good of an athlete. He's almost just as good of an athlete, and he's a better quarterback.
Out of your mind. You're going to take Sam Bradford over Tebow?
Yes.
I wouldn't do that.
I would take a pocket passing quarterback in today's NFL. Are you going to take Russell Wilson?
Are you going to take Cobb?
No.
Okay.
So you've named two guys that I wouldn't take. Like I said, I would put him like 28 out of 32.
You're crazy. You're crazy. He
I would take all four quarterbacks in the NFC East over him. I would take.
He belongs somewhere in the 10 to 20 range. He does, or I'm gonna say 15 to 20 range. He doesn't belong in the bottom third of the league. He's more in the 2/3 of the league.
Look, I'm sorry. Tebow to me is a playmaker. He is not a quarterback. That's what Tim Tebow is to me.